Get out!
So we are talking about the movie Don't Knock Twice. This one directed by Caradog W. James and stars Battlestar Galactica's Katee Sackhoff. And the story's central character is a mother played by Sackhoff, who years before had given up her daughter to adoption for the party lifestyle, and now is trying to kind of rebuild her relationship with her now teenage daughter, who is obviously has some problems between the two of them. Add to that, you have this mysterious house where this woman had committed suicide, and now there is kind of this urban legend that if you knock twice on the door, you'll essentially be visited by her ghost. And there is a kind of whole kind of backstory involving the actual what actually happened and things that may not be immediately obvious. Inevitably, the ghosts appear. Strange things starts to happen, and we have to find a way to kind of unravel this curse. There is actually a bit of a twist to this film. I won't go too much. Well, I'm not going to go into it at all, actually. So you have to watch the movie to find out. So what do I think about this movie? This, to me, is a pretty decent, kind of, I would say, mid-level horror film. So if you've seen things like The Pact and those kind of movies, they're quite well produced. They're not kind of the level of, say, like The Conjuring or Sinister. Maybe not ones that were kind of really cinema-worthy, but still, you know, on the higher side of the kind of the budget compared to your kind of standard kind of indie flick, so to speak. So it's kind of what I would call like a Messengers, The Pact, that sort of thing. Well produced, kind of slick looking horror film with some kind of like decent production value. And I have to say, this is a film that has some excellent parts in it. There are sort of ghostly effects and different things that happen all throughout the film, and there are some quite good creepy moments in there. And we see a variety of different kind of like interactions between our kind of human characters and kind of otherworldly things, not all of which make sense, but I've got to say I kind of did like the some of the effects that were used here, and there was some genuinely scary moments and stuff like that. I also quite liked the characters and the kind of the mother-daughter relationship, basically. I think they're very well cast. They actually kind of look quite similar. They're a believable kind of couple. And I feel that there's a genuine sense of their relationship progressing kind of throughout the movie as well. There's also some nice use of sets here. Sackhoff's character now is quite wealthy, and she has a kind of like a banker husband who is obviously quite wealthy as well. So they have this kind of large house, which kind of makes it kind of quite spooky and gothic. And she has this kind of artist chamber, which looks like it was part of a church or something once. So there's some pretty decent set design here as well. On the negative side of this, the story's a little bit jumbled. When you first started watching this movie, there's no real status quo. We don't really know what this situation with these characters. It kind of just goes straight in and doesn't give you any kind of like backstory as to the relationship between the mother-daughter. Kind of before this point, you're just kind of thrust into it, and you don't really know what you're kind of watching. It almost feels like there are scenes that have been cut out, and there are a couple of instances later on in the film as well where you just feel like things don't feel like they were kind of 100% clear about what we were meant to be getting out of this film. So it does feel like there have been some scenes kind of taken out, because I do feel it's a little bit jumbled. When we get to the conclusion of this film, again, it feels a little bit kind of rushed, and things just kind of like are presented to you like, oh, we've just kind of got to accept that that's what's happened. The director here loves the zoom button on the camera as well, I've got to say. We have all these kind of weird zooms all the time, which I found sort of quite distracting, because it happens time and time again. We just find ourselves zooming into people's eyes and things like that. So it's an odd directorial choice. But overall, I have to say I quite enjoyed this film. I thought it was a serviceable, probably above average horror film, actually. Some kind of nice visual and kind of a good eye for kind of the macabre. So I actually quite enjoyed this film. It's not without its flaws, and I do feel the story could have been ironed out a little bit more, and ultimately becomes a little bit frustrating and somewhat cliche. But nonetheless, if you like a kind of, a good sort of ghost story, then I think you might want to check this one out. I'm going to give this movie a 6.5. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.